일본과 에콰도르에서 일어난 지진으로 그것의 주민들은 많은 어려움을 겪고 있는데요. 특별히 에콰도르 지진 피해 지역은 구호 물품이 손쉽게 닿을 수 없는 곳이라 생필품 부족으로 고통을 호소하고 있습니다. 에콰도르에서 전해온 소식입니다.
These survivors of last week's quake have been waiting in line all day for a food truck to deliver supplies. As of 5 p.m., the truck had not arrived, and tempers were starting to flare.
We need a lot of things, especially food, meal, water. There's no water.
There's no water in the tap. How do we bathe or drink? What little they are giving out isn't nearly enough.
The scale of this disaster makes quick response very difficult. Many of those affected are in remote areas along the coast, now reachable only by air. These Ecuadorian Air Force helicopters are struggling to get enough aid to small villages near the epicenter of the quake. CBN accompanied this flight to the town of Hama. Now we're going to wait for them to unload the helicopter, turn around and go right back where we came from. Soldiers quickly unloaded the supplies, a drop in the bucket compared to the need. Many of these buildings in Puerto Viejo still standing are now uninhabitable and will have to be demolished. And rescue workers continue to race against the clock, looking for survivors amid the ruins. As if destroyed buildings and infrastructure, hundreds still trapped, and tens of thousands homeless weren't enough. A lack of fresh water is the latest tragedy in the unfolding crisis in Ecuador. With temperatures in the 90s during the day, dehydration is becoming a real issue. City dwellers like these in the city of Manta are flocking to distribution centers looking for food, clothing, and fresh water. Throughout the area, people are getting desperate, and Operation Blessing is stepping in to help. Pastor Paul Candela heads a large church in Puerto Viejo that's working together with Operation Blessing.
Things are pretty difficult right now because as the hours and days go by, things get more complicated. The rescue teams will soon stop looking for survivors and just move forward with the recovery of those who have died in the rubble.
Church members are volunteering to help OB assemble and distribute hundreds of care packages with food and water.
We see a future where there will be a lot of suffering because employees without work means business owners without businesses, which means people won't be able to pay their bills and they won't have a way to get by. Everything affects everything else, and this will lead to big social problems in the future.
The Operation Blessing volunteers are working to alleviate people's suffering and save lives by reaching areas outside the city.
Right now we are focused on serving the community, going to outlying places that have no food or water, and giving out supplies.
And the situation is worst where thirsty people line the roads begging for water and getting more and more desperate with every car that passes by. Carmen Rivera's baby, John Paul, is only 3 weeks old. His mother is beside herself.
There is no milk or diapers for my baby. He can't nurse because I'm not making milk and his formula has run out. The stores are closed up because the buildings are all destroyed. We sent someone out to look for milk, but they couldn't find any.
It will likely be months before these residents can get water from their own taps again, and many here are afraid they won't be able to hold out that long. Operation Blessing will stay here as long as it takes, bringing water to the people who need it most. Chuck Holton, CBN News, Manta, Ecuador.